has studied this and points out some of these people probably didn't speak English. And you know, that's how new the country was, especially here in the Midwest. So at this point, you can imagine people who barely knew each other, had not been here long, were just more than neighbors, had somehow rallied to build this schoolhouse, which was like a log cabin down at the old Rippey Cemetery. And then they're going to war together, they're training up and getting ready to go. And then on July 4th, 1861, the war is really breaking out. Jefferson has, the new town of Jefferson has a rally here. And here's the description of a barefooted brigade that will tell you about our troops going to the war. Dena?
All right. This is from E.B. Stillman's book, written in 1907. The first summer of the Civil War, from the day Fort Sumter was fired upon, Jefferson, and Greene County as well, was intensely excited by the treasonable conduct of the South, and was busy in getting ready to do its duty in rendering best service in suppressing the Great Rebellion. On the 4th of July, 1861, at the celebration in Jefferson, 2 full companies of infantry were on the ground. The Jefferson Company's uniforms was pants with a red stripe down the outer seam, coat blue denim roundabout trimmed with many red stripes and bright buttons, and a homemade military cap. The other company from Washington Township was not fully uniformed, but well drilled, and enabled to execute a number of field movements in good style. A little circumstance connected with this company will illustrate the pioneer times under which they enrolled. A number of men in the company had no boots suitable to wear at the 4th of July celebration, and hence thought they must stay at home. But Dr. J.C. Lovejoy suggested, and the doctor was a genius, that the barefooted men black their feet. The suggestion was followed, and so good was the disguise that many who witnessed their accurate and agile maneuvers never noticed the kind of leather with which they were shod.
And Dena, that sets up a wonderful original poem by our own Jed Magee. Jed?
This is called Boots. Hey, Ma, we're going to war. Ma, we're going to war. We're going to fight the secession. Everybody in school has signed up, even the young ones as well as the older ones. Even Teacher Azor is going. He'll be our leader. It's only 3 months. We'll be fine. We'll be home soon. Teacher has some uniforms, at least pants, or parts, blue shirts, woolen coats, no pants yet, and no boots. But he says when we parade in town, we can paint our feet black to look like boots. We're going to war, Ma. We'll get real guns and boots.
Thank you very much, Jed. We now have some official business to take care of. I call up Sergeant Azor Mills. Please report to the podium. And we throw up new pictures here. I think we'll show you a picture of Azor Mills a little later in life right there.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Well, then let's go with this one. This is Azor Mills on the left, who was the main teacher in the school, enlisted as a sergeant, later becomes an officer, and the director of the school. A little later picture, but during the war, is Isaac Brown. Brown was killed in the war. Mills was badly wounded, but survived and went on to a great career. And so here with me today, portraying Sergeant Azor Mills, is our own David Burkett, who, glad you're here, thank you. I understand we have business before we can take in these schoolboy soldiers from Rippey. They have to sign their enlistment papers.
so that they know that they belong to the union army.
Well, let's call them forward at this point. You can leave your arms, or no, should they carry their arms?
No, they can leave their arms.
Okay, they can leave their arms there, guarded by Jennifer Powers. And we have Oliver Harris, a freshman at Iowa State, graduated last spring from Greene County High School, was in that class. Oliver, welcome home. And we have, he'll be talking to us in a little bit as James W. Smith. We have Aden Bardole is a senior this year at Greene County High School, and will portray Gillum Tolliver. How many Tolliver brothers were there?
4.
4 brothers. Were their cousins? It seemed like there were more Tollivers up there than 4.
He's the puzzle that I have.
Oh, Diane will talk about that. We have one Tolliver that's a puzzle. And we have Roman Sebourn is here. Roman, you're a junior? Is that right? And he'll be talking as Henry Powers. We thank you, and I turn them over to you, Azor, to do your official duty.
Okay,
Pen if you need it.
well, they will have to sign the paperwork. When you're done.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Want me to hold it?
Oh, I got it. Okay. We are now going to give you the oath of allegiance to the United States. And sidebar, the one that we know today was started in 1878, and it worked its way up to the Civil War. When it got to the Civil War, it changed, because there was a whole different attitude. In 1887, after the war, World War I was coming, and it changed back. So this is the original, this is the original oath that they took, which was formed in 2nd July, 1862. Now pronounce I, add your name.
Are they signing as the soldiers they become?
Well, they are signing as who they are going to become. Yeah.
Okay, so you can use your soldier names.
Okay, I.
James
solemnly,
W. Smith,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
to the United States of America,
to the United States of America,
and all and that I will serve them honestly and faithfully
that I will serve them honestly and faithfully
against all their enemies or opposers, whomever,
against all of their enemies, opposers, or whoever,
and that I will observe and obey the orders
that I will observe and obey the orders
of the President of the United States
of the President of the United States
and the order of the officers appointed over me,
and the order of the officers appointed over me,
according to the rules and articles of war.
according to the rules and articles of war.
And now we need to have you step forward and sign your paper.
These enlistments have been presided over, I'm reading it right here, by the examining surgeon, Major Chuck Offenburger. I think they're really legitimate. Sergeant Mills, you can retire now, and I will talk to the troops here for a few minutes. Thank you. Let's talk first just as students today at Greene County High School at Iowa State University. Oliver's sister, London Harris, is here today, and she's considering taking part in this, so we wanted to welcome her, and she just wanted to see how this is going to work before she really gets involved. But this raises a point. As we put together a unit of probably about 40 students so that anytime we're together as the unit, we'll have the 32 students and 2 teachers. And that can be different people at different times. And it can be girls as well as boys, and adults as well as students if we need them. And so that's what's coming here. What did you think as students? Just your impression. Were you guys both in the class last year? Aden and all 3 of you were. Okay, Oliver, what did you think when you heard this story? I assume none of the 3 of you had ever heard it before. Is that correct? Well, what did you think as you thought about this?
Well, first off, they had to pay to go to school, and as someone who's also paying to go to school, I thought it was kind of crazy that they'd give up that, because if you pay for your education, they presume that they're going to try to go do other things outside of schoolwork that require that education. For them to give that up to join the Army just kind of spoke to me in a way. I was a little shocked because these guys presumably cared a lot about their future enough to go to school, and they just kind of all gave it up at the same time to join the Army. So I don't know, that's kind of like spoke to me a bit. Because I don't think I would go join the Army right now, truthfully. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah. And I've always been interested in war and history and stuff, but I've never heard of a story like this. So I just really interested me in that way.
Go ahead.
I thought it was pretty cool that I got to learn that, even though I didn't know much about what's here. I thought it was just going to be a boring town, but when I learned about Ripley and the Civil War, I thought of, I should do something with that. So me and my friend, we did something about it, and now that I'm doing it, I really start liking it more. And I also do reenactors with him, and Dave, and I just really like on how I get to do all that at such a young age, where I thought I couldn't do it, and now that I'm here and I'm doing this, I really like learning about subjects, especially here, especially military, because I want to join, and yeah, that's why I like that.
Aden, when you heard these stories, did you know much about the Civil War history before that class?
Yeah, Civil War history is really what got me into history. I went to Antietam when I was younger, and that's really what got me into history. So I've known about Civil War history, but not about the really Iowa or Greene County Department history.
What about any of the 3 of you can answer this? It's one thing to hear about enlisting in the service and going off, and as Dave pointed out to me in the story, there was part of this that was a thrill. These people were living pretty primitively out on the prairie, and then suddenly they're getting the opportunity to ride on riverboats, ride on trains, and then people started shooting at them. It's a different thing. And then we learned 9 of the students, or just recently former students, died one way or another in the war. As someone that is about that age of some of those soldiers back then, how did that hit you, the mortality of it, the danger of it?
It's scary, and it's scary to think that as somebody who's 18, and at the time of the class being 17, knowing that I was a lot older than the students that actually went out there, going and fighting, and some of them dying. It was frightening.
It impressed all of us who have been involved in the Historical Society. As you took on this project to do they did an initial report, which they handed off to me, and I think I wrote about it last Memorial Day weekend, where we named soldiers and did that. But it impressed all of us who were involved in the Historical Society that you all took an interest in history and were down here and going through the resources and stuff. When you got in here, had you been to the museum before?
Honestly, no. So, yeah.
How about you, Roman? Had you ever been here?
Sometimes when I was there.
Okay. Aden, were you ever here before?
I've been here once.
What did you think of the resources that you got as you started to do this? Any thoughts?
Honestly, I was shocked. I didn't know there'd be so much information about, well, you know, it's never told before, so I thought it maybe like a little unknown story, which honestly kind of is, but I didn't think there'd be much of anything like on or about it. I don't know, I just didn't think their record keeping was the best back then or anything like that, but I don't know, there's a lot of things that I learned, so I thought it was pretty cool, and you know, they even have a drum from when they used it, so I was shocked to hear they have that. So.
Okay, who are we portraying here? Let's see, Aden, you're Gillum S. Tolliver. Can you want to go to the next screen, Jeff? The guy that Aden's portraying is there on the left later in life, right? That's Gillum Tolliver, right? And you can see his wife is well appointed there. Her name was Sonoma Bell Tolliver. And then right here in the middle, coming this way, or I guess that's